he's kind of, I suppose, willing to stand alone, in his own thoughts, which is kind of a brave thing. The other cool thing about contrarian thinking, I guess, is that even if you don't agree with it, it makes you kind of, I suppose, really think about what you think, and understand why you believe what you do. That may be different from the person who you're talking to.
And I think this is one of their biggest gripes is there isn't enough space in the conversation today to even consider some of those thoughts. And that's a big problem, because then you start to move to think, really myopic views of the world. Or probably more likely is you start to move into a place where there's just a lot of people lying about what their real perspective is on the world.
Yes, it's sort of like he describes it as, say, sometimes you might have a majority of people who believe in a certain thing, less than 50%, but it's more than the other. Say there's another group of 20, 3 groups of 20 and 1 group of 40 or something. That's kind of a balanced idea. And then there might be like a supermajority where a certain portion has more than 50%. And then there's the other type where, there's 99% of people think the same thing. And that's just something's wrong there and something's not true. It's not likely that that's the truth. So when you're seeing, say, no one willing to kind of support Donald Trump in academia or something like that, I think there were 0 people that came out in support of him who were tenured professors. There's some stat like that. Take that with a grain of salt, but there's a number of professors that are lying. There's people that are lying, and then you kind of got to ask yourself, why are they lying? Is it social harm? Is it they're worried about their jobs? Is it this? Is it that? There's this preference falsification going on where people aren't willing to truly say what they think. And then that means that you can't really have a proper debate on things. And all of a sudden, if you can't talk, you'll end up fighting about it.
Yeah, so one of the actual cases I think that they explicitly call out is the polls, in the lead up to the election were showing Trump at a much lower percentage than what he actually ended up getting, within the election. And so there was a number of other, Republican candidates that had much higher, polls, percentages in the polls. And strangely enough, all those, and these are Republicans that it was kind of okay to be seen to vote for them.
Yeah. I think it might have even been an independent guy as well.
Yeah.
Was one of them.
Even that.
More politically correct too. The other, I think maybe we'll go through kind of, we'll start to group these together in the main themes of the podcast. But the last thing I'll say on that is that it was kind of interesting how he said political correctness, and he talked about political correctness in the way of, it's all good. We all love Stalin. We're all on board with Chairman Mao. These people who led through fear and coercion, and people were too scared to say what they really thought. That is not the way that I think about political correctness in our society. It was interesting that is also political correctness.